I thought Amazon just sold books.
Right.
So I, obviously sitting in Australia, I don't have the Amazon parcels arriving on my doorstep like they do in other countries. So I was just aware of Amazon as a bookseller. And it was your smiling face that I saw in an ad that I clicked on, and it was from that point that I realised that Amazon was this amazing selling machine that I could get part of.
Yeah.
So it didn't take me long to get into the course. I devoured it actually. I'll just put it in context though. It was January 2017 and I had an 18-month-old baby. So I'd been in babyland for, you know, a good year and a half, and I was just coming out of that, and I really wanted something to do. Like, I wanted to do more than sit on the couch with my baby. I wanted to do something that actually meant something, that I could create. And I'd seen so many other opportunities. I'd never, you know, I was a little bit cynical really about what was on offer.
Yeah.
And when I stumbled across Your Face and Reliable Education and the whole Amazon concept, it just really made sense to me, because I had no idea you could do something like FBA. I had no idea you could create something in China and send it directly to the States to sell without packaging it up in your garage, you know. So all those things kind of clicked in place for me, and it made me really excited to start with. And then you get into it and you start thinking, wow, how do I find a product? Like, what am I going to sell? And luckily for me, the course sort of showed me through all that. I mean, it was hard work for me. I had to deal with my baby during the day, and then at night time I would, when he was asleep, I'd start by doing some research online and finding something of interest. But eventually I found something that it was like being hit by lightning actually. Once I found it, I knew that it was right, and I launched that product. That product went live, so it was about a 6-month timeline between when I started the course and when I had my product live. And it sold straight away, which was amazing. It's probably the most amazing feeling to wake up in the morning and that first sale has come into your little app on your phone, and you can see that you've made, I think at that stage it was like $60 from the one sale overnight while I was asleep. It was like a revelation to me, and kind of it made me realise I was on the right track.
Yeah.
So. And from there, so that product I actually ran out of stock really quickly because I'd been quite conservative in my ordering to start with. I ran out of stock, and by the time I got more stock in, but I was making, I think in my first 30 days, I made about 10 grand a month on that product. And
will you say 10 grand a month profit or sales?
Revenue.
Revenue.
Yep,
and
revenue.
Margins are about what?
At that stage, they're about 45%.
Wow, that's really high.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching at home, 45 is not normal. It's usually 25 to 30 when I interview students.
Yeah.
So when you hear me say $1 million in turnover, normally about 25 to 30, that's really high, but great.
Yeah, yeah, great. I mean, it changed after a while because,
Yeah.
you know, just advertising costs and things. I think I'm sitting on around 32% now for that product. So
Great.
it's still really good.
That's great.
I've also got the price a lot higher than I had to start with too. So it just takes a while to work all those things out. But I mean, the concept, it was, for me, the revelation was getting the concept and understanding, like learning how to fish. Because once you learn how to do that, then, and you've got, you know, it coming into your bank account, you go, what else can I launch in here? And then it's a matter of, well, that one was $10,000 a month. What if I launched another product at $10,000 a month and another product? So
that's kind of what you did too, isn't it? You
totally.
sort of went same product but a different shape or colour or whatever.
Yeah, I did variations to start with. So again, it was easier to hinge off that listing and do a couple of variations. So I think I got, with that product, I've sit at around $40,000 a month with that one product, and it spikes. It's got some seasonal spikes. So. So I get a lot more than that per month just from that product, but it's quite stable actually. So and again, it's not a huge product, i.e. it's not in a really big market. It's in quite a small niche within a big market. Yeah. So I'm not trying to take on the big guys. They don't even know I'm there really. Yeah. So
under the radar.
Under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next product I brought in, I actually brought it in because I felt I wanted to add to my closet of products, so to speak, rather than just having one product. And I didn't have a lot of money to create another product. So I budgeted myself with $5,000, and that was for stock and everything. And I put in a few ideas in place that I wanted it small, I wanted it to be able to air freight, those sort of things, and I wanted it to fit with my target market because of my brand. I wanted to fit it under the same brand. And I came up with something that I thought I would need. You know, my avatar, which is kind of like a cooler version of me.
Just for those at home, an avatar just means a type of consumer.
Yeah. I struggled to begin with to find a product because there was just so many. It was like I didn't know where to start looking for a product. This was for my first product. So I went back to basics and said, who do I want to solve a problem for? Who's the avatar that I want to? So that's how I started.
So you thought about a particular type of consumer, you went to Amazon and thought, there's nothing there for that type of person.
Yep.
I'm going to make something for that type of person. And the person you chose in your mind was someone like you,
but a
bit cooler.
Yes.
Okay, so you went there, you started first, you were just starting to tell us about the second product?
Yeah, so the second product I wanted to have in the same brand, so it needed to be the same, but I had this really tight monetary constraint. So, but I found something, and then I actually created it myself, and I thought, to start with, I thought I was a bit crazy, and I thought I'd probably thrown this $5,000 down the toilet. It actually took 3 months for the first, so it was under $1,000 and I got it live. Obviously my branding and everything had already been done. And it took 3 months for my first 1,000 to sell out. But then my next 1,000 sold out in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And then I couldn't keep up with supply. I literally couldn't, because that particular product was in a very fast moving river. It was in a very fast market, and it was small, and it was easy to copy, and it was air freightable, so you know anybody could see it, and they took after it. So there was thousands of people then, you know, that were looking at my product.
So it wasn't under the radar.
It was not under the radar.
Yeah.
So much so it wasn't under the radar that the New York Times picked it up.
Your product.
My product.
And put it in the Christmas
unbeknown
gift
to
guide,
me.
right?
Yep, they sent me a random email a couple of months before Christmas asking for some samples, and next thing it's in there as a gift suggestion. So it went nuts, but I actually couldn't keep up with.
Where did it get to?
That one, well, I had $332,000 in 30 days.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that particular number, that was probably about 260,000 of that was the one product.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I wouldn't actually wish that on anyone. Like, it sounds amazing, but I much prefer my nice little reliable products that I just add another one in,
And that's an interesting point you touched on, because some people who are listening there might have thought, well, you're doing 40 grand a month in sales. Why did you have monetary constraints on launching a new product? It's because when you've got a growing business, Amazon's so big that if you've got a successful product, you send in 1,000 units, they go like that. Next time you've got to send in 2,000. So your capital is going into growing your business, which is a great problem to have, but it leaves you cash flow poor while you're growing.
Absolutely,
and so that's what you mean, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't go into this with a lot of money. Like I had, well, I started with about $30,000.
Right.
So I actually, that's Australian. So it doesn't go as far with the US dollars. So, but by starting with that, I then had to fund the inventory, and it was a reasonably expensive item that I started with. So it was a $20 unit cost. So, you know, I couldn't order a lot to start with. So trying to keep that in stock and then launch another product on top, I was always chasing my tail for that. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it is, you know, I see that with a lot of the students that come through, and that's, you know, you encourage people to try to choose products that are in line with their budget.
If you enjoyed that video, make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell that's somewhere on the screen here so that you get instantly notified when we drop new videos. Thanks for watching, subscribe and hit the bell.